In mid-October of 2022, by the suggestion of one of my viewers, I put together a video containing one fact from every main mission in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2, and after some more exploration of the game, I've decided to make a second list for you guys today. Welcome to the video. You're listening to Phil of Philby Gaming. If you guys enjoy what you see, please hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with friends and family or anyone you may feel would enjoy content such as this. The following facts could be anything from hidden dialogue to real-world references to behind-the-scenes details to alternate scenes. These are just a few examples. Please be aware there will be spoilers ahead for the game. For those who wish to share any facts that you think people may not have realised, you have the comment section below, or you can find me over on my Instagram. That's at Philby Gaming. Without further delay, let's get into what we came here to see. One more fact from every mission. Red Dead Redemption 2, Part 1. Outlaws from the West. After escaping the Blackwater ferry heist, the gang are forced to retreat into the mountains. This, of course, is the opening scene of the game. After a short and inspirational speech from Dutch van der Linde, imploring the gang to stay strong, himself and Arthur head out in search of supplies. On their travels, the pair come across Micah Bell, who informs them that he's discovered a homestead not too far. Arriving there, we soon realise that the place is inhabited by rival gang members, the O'Driscolls. After a firefight ensues, the three men begin to look for supplies. When entering the barn nearby, Arthur is attacked by a hiding foe, but quickly overcomes him. Inside this barn is a horse that Dutch tells Arthur to bring along. It's shortly after this that we are first introduced to Sadie Adler. Most players, without thought, will have just assumed that this horse belonged to Mrs. Adler, when in fact, during a trigger conversation back at Coulter, we learn that it isn't.
Ma'am, that horse we took from your barn, obviously we'll give that back.
That was one of theirs. Kill the damn thing for all I care.
Oh, okay.
Enter Pursued by a Memory. Shortly before the gang arrived at Coulter, Dutch sent several members to scout ahead to ensure that neither the Pinkertons or the Blackwater Police Department were on their tail. One of the men out looking is John Marston. Back at camp, John's partner and son's mother, Abigail, is openly worried that John hasn't returned and hasn't been seen in 2 days. She begs Arthur to go and search for the man. Arthur, joined by Javier Escuela, heads out to find John. The pair travel through the treacherous mountain range, battling the snowy elements as they do so. Finding clues along the way, such as the abandoned campsite, then later the deceased horse that John was riding during the escape from Blackwater, the duo do eventually find their friend, and it seems to be just in the nick of time. Battered and bruised after being attacked by a pack of wolves, with both a gunshot wound to add to his injuries, John is in a bad way. Luckily, the trio make it back to Coulter in time for John to be tended to. The fact here that some people may not realise is that the surrounding area where we find John is inaccessible for the remainder of the game, and later appears to have been covered by an avalanche. This mission is the only time you can explore this section. The aftermath of Genesis. The gang's cook, Simon Pearson, informs Arthur that after fleeing Blackwater, he barely had any time to collect supplies. Because of this, they are running dangerously low on food to feed everyone. He states that he previously sent both Lenny Summers and Bill Williamson out to hunt in the mountains, but the pair returned with nothing. He asks Arthur to head out, in hopes that he might have more luck than the other two. Overhearing the conversation, a relatively new member to the gang, the Native American hunter Charles Smith, insists that he'll tag along and help Arthur. Charles needs Arthur to use his bow and arrow in his place, as during the escape from Blackwater, he had somehow received a very nasty burn to his hand. This burnt hand is a direct reference to the protagonist from the first ever game in the series, Red Harlow of Red Dead Revolver. Red Harlow, just like Charles Smith, was of Native American descent, and both suffered similar injuries at the beginning of their respective games. Red, upon witnessing the murder of his parents, would retrieve his father's revolver, which was engulfed in flames, to take the fight to his foe, Darren. The molten metal of the revolver would scar Red's right hand. Old Friends. The following contains a major spoiler for the epilogue of the title, so if you wish to skip, you can do so by using the chapter select below. After beating the information out of the O'Driscoll back at Say the Adler's ranch, the gang learned that their rivals were planning a train heist. Dutch, wanting to steal this from under the nose of the O'Driscolls, rounds up his men and orders an attack on the rivals' camp at Ewing Basin. Scouting from afar, Dutch devises a plan. After a heavy battle ensues, with the Van der Linde boys being the victors, they discover the train heist plans. Regrouping, the boys head back to Coulter, immediately triggering the next mission. In the opening scene to this mission, Micah states that when he dies, he doesn't want any fuss, to which Lenny replies, "When you die, there'll be a party." This is a foreshadow of the epilogue, where at Beecher's Hope, the remaining gang members are celebrating after the death of Micah Bell. Who the hell is Leviticus Cornwall? After obtaining the O'Driscoll's plans to rob the train, we learn that the locomotive belongs to the oil tycoon Leviticus Cornwall. Despite Hosea's reluctance, Dutch goes ahead with the plan. He brings together the gang, who all head to the ambush location. After a failed detonation of the dynamite that Bill planted, Arthur, Lenny and Javier are forced to board by jumping from a cliffside onto one of the carriages. Javier misses, but luckily is okay. Arthur and Lenny continue on, battling Cornwall's men as they do so, before finally halting the train. A further fight ensues, and eventually the Van der Linde boys overcome and are able to continue the heist. What some may not have realised about this mission is a moment just before Arthur stops the train. The driver of the train ambushes Arthur by hitting him in the face with a shovel. The pair fight it out before Arthur throws the man from the moving train. This is a direct reference to the 1903 short film The Great Train Robbery, in which a very similar scene occurs. Eastward Bound. With the weather breaking, the gang are finally able to leave the frozen camp of Coulter. Heading east, they are in search of a spot known to locals as Horseshoe Overlook. There's not much to do in this mission, as it's mainly focused on a conversation between Arthur, Hosea and Charles, giving us some backstory into the gang. When arriving at the location, Dutch gives another motivational speech, just as he did when they arrived in Coulter. After it's all said and done, Arthur heads to his bunk. A few in-game weeks pass by, and we return to a conversation with Hosea, who informs us of the gang's activities. Arthur can interact with all of the gang who have remained at camp. Something that people may have missed is when talking to three of the ladies, Mary Beth, Karen and Tilly. When speaking with any of them, they may comment sometimes that they are bored and fed up with being stuck at camp. This will continue until Arthur triggers a nearby mission with Uncle, where we take the girls out. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and be sure to stick around for part 2 of the series. If you enjoyed what you saw today, be sure to hit like and subscribe, turn on notifications and share with friends and family, or anyone you may feel would be interested in content such as this. I also do monthly giveaways on the channel, so make sure that you stick around to take part in them too. You can always find details of these on my Instagram, that's at PhilbyGaming. Do you have any facts about the game that you feel some players may not be aware of? Make sure to let us know via the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. You've been listening to Phil, and I'll see you in the next one.